slamming through. Fire love, riding high, feel the dirt in your face as I pass you by. All guts, come to glory, a new breed of cowboy, that's our story. Rock hard, ride hard, dust to dawn. It's time to kick that machine up and get your ride on.
A week ago in Anaheim, California, Cole Seeley came out and stole the thunder in the Supercross Lights West Coast Championship chase. In the big bikes, the Supercross class, it was Ryan Villapoto, the reigning champ, who stepped up and said, "I'm still the man." Tonight, the crowd is packed Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, ready for round two of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Welcome to the Valley of the Sun. I got Jeff Emig and Ricky Carmichael with me once again. We're glad to have you with us live here on Speed. Round two is all set to go. 4 riders came into Anaheim a week ago thinking this might be their year. Only one guy walked out of there really feeling comfortable. And Ricky, let's start breaking these guys down. We had 2 guys, one who had a pretty good night in Chad Reed, and one guy, James Stewart, who really thought this was his year. Maybe not so much in that opening round.
Right, for sure, Chad Reed, I got to give it up for the guy. He didn't have a great practice, but when the sun went down and the lights came on, the guy had a phenomenal heat race. And it carried over to the main event. He got a good start in the main event. One thing led to another, and he's on the box with a crash, so that was spectacular. On the other hand, James Stewart, I was expecting a little bit more from him. Midway through the race, he kind of sat back and said, you know what, it looked to me like he's saying, I'm not going to get better than 4th. Well, next thing you know, Reed and Dungey fall down. And he's back in the hunt again, and he doesn't capitalize on getting those 2 guys, and he falls down, and the next thing you know, he's 6th place.
On the other hand, the 2 most recent Monster Energy Supercross champs, Jeff, both had a pretty good night.
Yeah, Ralph, and I felt that both riders really came away with a win, and I'll start with Ryan Dungey to make the podium in the Supercross class on the KTM for the very first time ever. That is a win for that team. That's a confidence builder for this young man, Ryan Dungey. Just a fantastic start to the season. And of course, Villapoto. I mean, he rode like the champion that he is, and that's a huge confidence booster for him because he dominated that main event. Now, earlier today in qualifying, Dungey and Villapoto both rode with the confidence that I think it's going to take to win here tonight. I'm looking for both of those guys to battle it out.
Well, when we got here to Phoenix and we unloaded our speed cameras, the first thing we did was went in search of those top riders to get their thoughts on Anaheim and a preview of Phoenix.
I mean, honestly, I'll be looking forward to a win tonight. You know, after last weekend, I was kind of disappointed just how I rode. But, you know, I think we, like I said last week, we learned a lot of things. You know, we just need to get the bike set up. I've been here, done that before. So I think if we get a good setup in practice, we'll be strong for tonight.
I feel like we got started off on the right foot, and coming here into Phoenix, I think it'd be nice to get a win. You know, I think that's the goal from here on out, is to win the races, but obviously put ourselves in a good position and be there at the end. But
the main thing is get a good start and then just see how everything plays out. And like I said, if a win's there, then I'll be there to take it. But you know, stay on the box, be consistent is you know, the name of the game right now.
I was actually watching a lot of NASCAR things. They had like a top 10, you know, best of the best for top 10, and I watched in 2002. Tony Stewart started Daytona 500 out. Everyone wants to win the first one. You show up, he DNFs, and then he's like, "Oh no, who cares about that one? You know, it's the championship you want to win." So I feel like I'm carrying that same momentum. You know, you want to win it, but after it, I got through it. I got some good damn points, and it's time to try to worry about championship. Go from week to week, try to win some races.
There was a 5th rider in Anaheim who really thought this could be his year. Unfortunately, due to an injury, he couldn't make the start in Anaheim. Look at the last few months for Trey Kennard. Broken legs twice and a broken shoulder in December that kept him from racing in Anaheim. Well, the good news is he is here tonight, and if things go well, he could score some points and maybe be right back in this championship hunt where everybody expected him to be. And Jeff, unfortunately for you, you know all about coming back from serious injuries. What has he got to do? What's he got to be aware of?
Well, Trey knows all about coming back from injury because he's had to do it so many times. But I flew into Phoenix with Trey yesterday. We got a chance to sit down and just talk about what's going on. And, I mean, he's a really intelligent guy. And he's got a great perspective on his return. He has realistic expectations for tonight. He qualified 9th inside the top 10. I'd say that is an excellent start.
Ricky, as soon as we all heard that this was a strong possibility, you were a little concerned. Why?
Yeah, Jeff said it right, managing your expectations. But my biggest thing is you can't come back too early in this game. You know, I don't want to see him turn a 6-week injury into a 3-month injury. If he goes out here and hurts himself tonight, which I hope he don't, and I'm glad to see him back on the track, he just took to where he could be 100% 2 weeks from now, and 3 months from now, he's just going to be healing back up. So I just hope that he's 100%, and I'm glad to see him back on the track.
Yeah. Told me a week ago in Anaheim he was only 60% in Anaheim. I don't know if he went to 100% in a couple of days, but here's what he says.
Yeah.
Expectations tonight, you know, I'd love to be able to get into the main and have a solid 20 laps. You know, I think if I'm a 5th place rider or a 1st place rider or an 8th place rider, that's where I need to ride. You know, I don't need to go above or below my limit, and just try to stay in that zone where I'm focused in and can have a good race.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. Now, the other racing that we're going to see tonight, of course, the Lights West Championship. And I don't think any one of us going into Anaheim had Cole Seeley circled as this guy on the grid sheet that we thought was going to be the winner, Ricky.
No, definitely. That guy, dude, he lit it up. There's no doubt about it. And he's probably the favorite tonight. Actually, there's a bunch of favorites, but that guy shocked me. So I'm totally giving it up for him. And he needs to rebound this weekend and do the same thing or be on that box. He can't win last weekend and not be nowhere close to the box. So that's what I'm looking for him tonight, but he did a fantastic job last weekend, no doubt.
Winning a race is one thing. Winning a championship, Jeff, is something completely different. And if Cole Seeley is able to go on and win this title, that means he beat Pro Circuit, and they also beat Factory Connection, two dominant forces in lights. Can Troy Lee Design's racing team do that?
Yeah, that Lucas Oil Honda team is really just settled in. They have a high level of confidence. But the thing about last week, when I watched that main event with Cole Seeley, he rode like he was the champion, the returning champion, and just came through the pack, dominated that. So the question is, which he's never done before, can he win back-to-back main events now, right? Because that's the thing.
Right.
You do it once, everybody wants you to do it again.
That's right.
So. Won at Oakland and then did nothing when we, or I should say won at Dodgers and did nothing when we got to Oakland last year. All right, well, the lights racing is going to be great. Supercross class is going to be great, and we're going to have a lot of action down on the track. And covering all that for us with a Progressive pre-race report is Aaron Bates.
A huge congratulations to Cole Seeley for taking home that season open victory last weekend. Cole, you're now the man with the target on your back. How does it feel?
Yeah, you know, I've been asked that all week, is how does it feel to have the target on your back and run the red plates? And you know, I really just tried to kind of put it behind me. You know, even it was a good race and an awesome win. Just tried to put it behind me and not get too cocky or too confident with it, and just look at the week like I did every other week.
4th overall in the season last year. The only time that we saw you made the podium was when you took those 2 wins, one in Seattle, one in LA. What was the missing link from last year's program that you plan on applying to back up last weekend's victory?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't very consistent last year. I had one really bad race, and that really just took me out of the championship hunt. And I really think that this year, you know, I've matured a lot, and I've learned a lot in the past year, just working with everybody who's in my corner, and you know, I'm just going to use that maturity and try and be consistent this year.
Cole Seeley, 8th overall in practice today. He is eager, he's primed, he's ready to go, waiting for that gate to drop.
When Speed's live coverage from Phoenix, Arizona continues, the Supercross light spikes head to the gate for heat race action. Seeley, Wilson, Tomac, Muscat, Sipes. Watch as the top young stars battle it out for a spot in tonight's main event when Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship returns.
Welcome back inside Chase Field. Opening ceremony is just about completed, and we are about ready to drop the first game. Let's take a look at our Kawasaki track map, Fro.
Well, as you can see, nice long start. Going to be a nice sweeping first turn into the first really long, difficult rhythm sections of the season. Get around home plate, and Ricky, it gets more difficult as we go.
Yeah, you do. You got a nice triple there into a right-hander. pretty easy whoop section this weekend, but fun. A nice rhythm lane there. Some guys are doing different stuff. Over there into a sand section right here, which is really, really cool. The guys are jumping in there, shoot across the start line.
Yeah, and they switched this last little section. It's just a double into the finish line turn, and then you kind of zigzag your way back to the first turn. It's awesome track, and we're going to take a look at it here.
Yeah, and that's one view. Our GoPro onboard camera is a whole different perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, well, now we're going to get to see what Gareth Swanepoel on the Star Valley Yamaha is all about. Look at him right in the middle here, triples in, doubles in. This triple out of the turn. Watch, he's going to do a single, double, triple. Guys are actually tripling right out of that turn.
Yep, and then he comes in right here, right-hander. A lot of guys are going double. There he goes.
Here's your up close, what you can expect to see here tonight with us. Every lap, I can tell you that much. We're going to show it all to you. And we've also got 2 heat races if you're new to the sport. We'll take the top 9 straight to the main. Everybody else goes to the last chance qualifier where we get our final 2 riders. In the lights class, they will put 20 riders in the gate, just like in the big bike division, but we'll only run for 15 laps. The Yamaha starting grid going across the top of the screen. Muscan is in this one, and Jeff, he had a big crash earlier today.
Yeah, he did. You know, guys were really pressing it here today. This track's faster. The soil is great here. It maybe the best I've ever seen it. But he was trying some of these new rhythm sections, ended up going down. He even mentioned to us that he broke his helmet, which is a good thing because it's there to protect your head. Right. And he looked fine when he talked to us, just said his neck was a little sore. Yeah,
I even asked him if he got a little goofy from it, if he had a bit of a concussion or anything. He said no, not at all. He's good, felt clean, good, ready to go racing. It's Chris Kostler right there on the 102, by the way.
One guy I thought quietly did good last week, didn't get much attention, was Eli Tomac. He looked fantastic in practice. So I'm excited to see how he's going to bring it tonight. Like you said, Jeff, this dirt is awesome.
And we got the 30-second board. Of course, it's up for 30 seconds. Once it goes sideways, riders will wait for 5 seconds. The gate will drop between 5 and 10 seconds.
About that time.
The dog house right in the center there, Jeff, is where that's all controlled from. It's basically where that AMA Thor logo is. Here we go. Watch the gate. Into the first corner. Picking up right where he left off was Cole Seeley, but Tomac comes right with him on the 17. That's Seeley on the 34.
Battle of the Honda teams, right there. Tomac, a little over. How many times have we seen guys over jump that first triple, especially here?
Yeah, we've seen it a bunch in practice there. I would tell you, this is a good good time for Seeley to really tuck in behind Tomac. Seeley really didn't have a good qualifying time, Jeff. He qualifying time of 8th, I believe. So he's going to have to step it up. Really rebound down here. Got a rider down here.
986 or 986 Topher Ingles.
Yep.
Having his problem. That jump that you're talking about, Jeff, is at what would be considered here at the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks in Major League Baseball, basically home plate.
Yeah, okay, now right here we're taking a look at Anderson, who really looked pretty good last week, and then just behind him, Nick Paluzzi on a brand new Kawasaki team here.
Jason Anderson's on the 44. I'm sorry, Ricky. And here they come towards that jump as they're making their way down the reverse order down the first base line.
Yeah, you can see the track right now that just got off of fixing up, getting ready for the night, for the races here. So it's a little loose on top. It'll pack in the next 3 laps. Will be really good. You can see these guys battling it out right now.
Yeah, but that was all because Nick Paluzzi chose a different line through that rhythm section. Anstey had a much quicker line, and he carried more momentum over that triple.
Max is on the 119 right there in the black and white riding gear.
Wow, look at that sand section right there.
Paluzzi drops another position.
You know, you look at that sand and you think it's really easy to go through. I mean, there's no jumps or anything through it, but you land through there and you're just going all over the place. You get so squirmy through there that's it's actually really challenging, easy to make a mistake.
Not the longest sand section we've ever seen either, but a very challenging one here. Paluzzi, by the way, is on the green 45 and the blue and black riding gear right there. And right behind him comes number 51, Travis Baker, as we go back up towards the front.
Yeah, that's Muscan there on that orange KTM, and he's running currently in 5th, but he started in 4th. Somewhere on that first lap, he dropped a few positions, made some passes to get back to where he's at now.
track looking nothing but spectacular tonight, man. This dirt is really, really good. So much grip right now. It looks like a blast to be riding.
Ricky, let me ask you a question about that. Earlier today, the roof here at Chase Field was closed. They opened it for the pyro that they use at the beginning of the night, and they've left it open. So how will that impact things? It was about 70-ish here today.
Yeah, I think it actually will keep the moisture in, you know. As the night falls, you get the moisture starts to rise. So I think it'll be good if they keep it open. So I hope that they do. Normally they close it, but hoping that they will. I just think it'll make the race conditions that much better and keep it somewhat moist.
Truly was a Valley of the Sun type of day today.
Yes, it was. A cool little shot there.
Oh, and more problems here.
Ingalls is
for the
down
986
again.
of Ingalls.
He's falling
Down
to the
again,
right.
man.
He's falling to the left now.
He's got it out of the way. He's ready to go.
Yeah, there you go. Keep it positive. But
he can get his grips working. Meanwhile, this guy's not having many problems. Eli Tomac. And Jeff, after you've had a crash like that and broken a helmet open, come back and put in a good heat. Good day.
Yeah, no doubt. But I felt that Tomac, even though he had that bad start last week in the main, he rode fantastic
Look at
up
that.
to third. Look at this. He's nailing the triple out of that. And look, he's just gapped Seeley, who dominated last week's main event. So, you know, Tomac has really came to Phoenix with a great attitude. I mean, he seemed really confident when I seen him he seemed really confident when I seen him at track walk earlier today.
That was a really cool jump, that triple out of the corner. That isn't an easy jump on a light spike.
Jason Anderson on the 44 here, and right now he's running in third.
A great run so far for Jason Anderson. He finished up 7th last weekend. He said you can expect a lot more from him this season. He said he's matured as a rider. He's been working extremely hard on his fitness and intensity. He's also been focusing on starts, but he considers this race here in Phoenix his local race, being from New Mexico. 25 family members and friends here supporting him. 4th overall in practice today. You can expect big things from Jason Anderson tonight.
Well, they'll be happy with what he's doing right now, Jeff, running in third.
Yeah, and when you have that many family and friends, I hope you have a ticket buffer, because the ticket situation in Monster Energy Supercross is difficult at times, and we're almost sold out here tonight. If not sold out, I don't see many empty seats.
I haven't seen that third deck as this full in a long time. That's great to see, and the racing's always good here.
Final
Always
lap
good
underway, and Tomac making his way towards a straight transfer to the main event.
Man, he's looking good tonight. I mean,
I told you he's confident, you know?
Yeah, really solid in practice.
Great way to open up the night for Eli Tomac. He takes the Heat 1 win here in Phoenix at Chase Field. Tomac's the winner. Who else is going to go with him? Seedley is in. Anderson goes through, making his friends and family happy. Big gap now back to Max Anstey, who will transfer through from 4th. Marvin Muscan is in. Billy Laninovich is going.
Michael Lee. And I'm seeing Nick Paluzzi, my buddy, dropping out of transfer position.
We'll have a chance to talk to Eli here as soon as he gets the headset on.
Look, he even wears earplugs there. You didn't need him back in the days, but these bikes, you know, you get him revved up.
He always does. I'm like, man, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it'd be difficult for me, yeah.
Great ride for him.
Well, and there's a good look at that huge crowd that is packed here at Chase Field. By the way, they're going to play Major League Baseball's All-Star game here.
All kinds of baseball players in the house tonight, too.
Let's show you the results. Tomac the winner. Seeley right behind him. So Honda takes the top 2 spots. Suzuki gets on the Heat podium with Jason Anderson. Teddy Mayer gets the last spot. Bo Hudson will go to the last chance qualifier. We'll go right down to the podium. All right, Eli, a great way to open up the night for you. It looked like things were spectacular the way the bike performed, and you did as well. Were there any problems of any kind?
Man, not really. That was definitely a perfect heat race for me. That was actually my first heat race ever, so it was definitely nice to get one of those under the belt. And you know, on the start there, I ended up sneaking inside of Cole and just try to put together a solid 6 laps.
Yeah, Eli, it's RC. Dude, you're looking really good. Firing in practice. I think you did fantastic last week. And what's your plan for the main event tonight, bud?
Definitely just get off to another, start like I just did, and then just hopefully clean a couple of triples out of those corners like I was doing there, and just ride solid.
Good deal.
All right, Eli, good luck to you. Go get ready. We'll see you next up in the main event.
See you guys.
We've got lights heat number 2 from the West coming your way when Speed returns live to Phoenix. Big week here in Phoenix. Not only is Monster Energy Supercross in town, but Speed's going to be bringing you Barrett-Jackson. It all kicks off Tuesday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Barrett-Jackson from Scottsdale. You know, I was having dinner with Craig Jackson last night, and you know, he started out as a kid racing dirt bikes here in the Phoenix area on a Honda Elsinore. Had a lot of trophies to prove he was pretty good.
That's pretty cool when you think about it. He's got a good thing going over there. It's amazing.
Well, we both rode dirt bikes.
It's funny how many people.
Yeah, I'd like to. I heard he's got quite the car collection at home too.
Yeah, but you know, in his motorcycle collection is dominated by vintage dirt bikes. Honda Elsinore, he's got some Huskies, CZs, lots of cool stuff.
Nothing vintage here though. This is cutting edge of Supercross lights, competition, and technology.
Dean Wilson is going to be in this one in the 15, and Jeff, he's still not 100% healthy.
Yeah, we seen him earlier today, and he just felt sick. He said, "No, I don't feel good." It's not a lot of positive words came out of him. But of course, now it's race time. I said, "Dude, you got to step it up when we get to the night show." So let's see what he can do.
And the reason being, Ricky, because it is such a short championship. You know, he already let some points slip away last week. Can't afford to do it 2 weeks.
That's right. That was very, very crucial from the fall right there towards the end of the race.
Here we go. Tyler Rattray on the 28, trying to get around. Martin Davalos on the 31 is going to take the early lead. Problems already for Matt Moss on the 105.
Davalos picking up where he left off in last week's heat when he won the heat race.
Ooh, Wilson trying to get inside of him, Jeff.
Wow, and it was close there because Rattray, he kind of had to check up or either landed on his teammate. It should be noted that even though Wilson is not feeling that well, he was our fastest qualifier today, so it's time to do it here. He's only got the heat race and the main event, and then he can go rest.
Yeah, he looked unbelievable in qualifying practice. I'm going to tell you, man, the guy was firing, just really explosive looking and charging his turns and his jumps. I'm like, man, this guy's on it. Let's see their replay.
That's a replay of the start. That's Wilson there fighting for it. And look at Davalos. Just gets there by just about a wheel length. And the key thing is that he's on the inside. See how he controls it. And of course, this is Moss here, J-Star KTM, down. So he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, anytime you're on that inside, and Jeff, you know, you control everything, especially if you have the jump on him, which is, he does know, without a doubt.
Oh no, Davalos goes down. Martin Davalos trying to make it 2 heat race wins in 2 weeks. And now he's down, trying to get that bike started again, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki.
And just like we were talking about, Ricky, about how in lights heat 2, the track really gets good, you start feeling confident, but there's still a little moisture in there and a little bit of loose dirt coming into that right-hander.
Yeah, there is. It needs to be packed in a little bit, and it will keep getting packed in. The track is probably the best it's going to be all night right now. When I was racing the lights class, I used to love racing in that second heat because the heat before you packed it in, got the grooves just good enough. Look at that. Dean Wilson tripling out the turn, come up a little bit short there, but he still pulled it off. Check it out. He's going to go outside over that onto the table. Looking good. His teammate, Tyler Rattray. There.
And that's Zach Osborne, to 338. Back in Monster Energy Supercross for the first time in a few years, and he's really showed some speed. I mean, he has really been on it, and he has been a good addition to this team.
Oh yeah, it's great to see him doing good back in the States racing. I mean, he was, you know, a great amateur rider.
Yeah, but what's been cool is that this is an English team, and they've chose to take their talent in Osborne and take it from the World Championship in motocross and bring it into Monster Energy Supercross.
Aaron, another rider who had a tough day earlier in practice is this rider right here, Nico Izzy on the 50.
A very tough day for the Star Valley Yamaha rider. He was injured the last practice. His bike shot off. He crashed going up up the face of the jump. He landed 5 to 10 feet short. He hit his chest on the cross pad. They took him back to the Asterix medic unit. He was spitting out blood, and then he was complaining of hitting his head as well. So they were concerned of a collapsed lung. They took him to the local hospital for precautionary measures. But guys, he just got back right before opening ceremonies. He started to sprint down the tunnel into the Asterix medic unit. He had to jump out of the car just to beat the traffic in order to get here on time, but the Asterix medical unit released him to be out here racing tonight. Very impressive to be out here.
Well, you got to be a tough guy to do that. I'm telling you, I've actually collapsed a lung before, and that feeling when you just can't get your breath, your ribs are sore and all that, it's not a good feeling. So once the hospital cleared him of that, now he just has to deal with the pain. And anybody that has had any rib damage knows that, man, it is really tough to deal with moving around. So it'll be a tough night for Nico, isn't it?
Yeah, you think, especially riding this. Like I'm watching him sit down there and see how they jump. Check out this pass right here.
Racing Swanepoel on the 23, and he gets him.
That was perfect. That's what you want to do. No contact, nice smooth pass. Izzy was riding good last weekend. It's good to see him up there. I'm actually glad he's out there racing after that crash he had in practice.
Yeah, and he's on that Star Valley Yamaha, so it's two teams that have blended together, worked together. They've got a large group of talented riders that they're trying to make another push here in 2012 to get some guys on the podium, possibly win.
Getting a mouthful of sand is the 67 machine of Scott Champion right there, and he runs in 6th, and Freezy is right there with him. Vince is on the number 59 Honda, the Moto Concepts back bike. He is in 7th. Marmont has the final transfer spot right now, which remember is 9th, as we go back and look at Wilson, who has a 3.3 second lead right now over Tyler Rattray.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the lap times right now, and Wilson has set the fastest lap time in this heat with a 52.7 so far. We'll go back to last heat when Ricky and I both agreed that the track would have been slower. It's better now. Tomac was a 51.4.
Yeah, I mean, Tomac was
flying.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he sure was. But it's only a heat race, and Dean not feeling good. He did it there.
Checkered flag for Dean Wilson. He gets it. He and Rattray will move straight on. That's going to make Mitch Payton feel a little bit better. Maybe get a little momentum going for this pro circuit team.
What I was saying about Dean Wilson there is, you know, maybe he wasn't showing all of his cards. He's a little under the weather. Maybe he's saving a little bit. He looked pretty good in practice. There's no way he got slower.
And you know, I hear there's another favorite in the house tonight that might be a little under the weather. Talk about him a little bit later, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We'll get to him a little bit. We'll save that one. We always ask you to tweet in and let us know if you're having a good time watching Monster Energy Supercross, or if you're having a party in the house in AZ, ready to watch the boys tear up this place. Track looks sick. That comes from a World Series champion. Jim Edmonds is here. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit's here taking pictures. And we also have heard, speaking of other baseball superstars in the building, I heard Robin Yount is in the building, who spent a lot of time racing cars as well.
I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be on the at home plate with that guy pitching to me. I can tell you that much.
I'll tell you what. There's another guy with a pretty good fastball behind the steering wheel, and that's Paul Tracy. The IndyCar star is here tonight as well. Dropped by the booth to say hello a little while ago. Here's a look at the results. Remember, this is the top 9 that go through. So Ramos is going through. Marmont gets to take the rest over to the LCQ along with his KTM. But Kawasaki is top 2. Yamaha crossing the line in 3rd and 4th. And Honda gets the top 5 here in this heat race. Well, so now the lights heats are completed. And here's Dean Wilson down on the podium with the headset on. And Dean, as we talked to you earlier, you said you weren't feeling all that great. How are you now after the heat race?
Yeah, I kind of just feel the same, to be honest. A little bit sick, coughing up a lot, and you know, it's tough because I've got lots of chest congestion, and so when I'm breathing hard, you know, I'm spitting all that stuff out of my chest, and I don't know, it's all right though, you know, it's nice just to get a win, and good start to the night. So I just got to work on my start a little bit more. I wheelied halfway up the straight, and you know, my Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki was working amazing out there. Thor, Dunlop, my boy Dirt Shark, and everybody. It's all good. So you know, last week was a bit of a disappointment. So I want to try and turn it around.
Yeah, hey Dean, it's Jeff Emig here. What is the track like? Has it really started to work in, and are those triples out of the turn, those really difficult ones, are they getting easier, or do you think in the main event the track's going to be tougher yet and get rutted up?
I think it's going to be tougher. You know, Eli's doing this triple fairly easy, and that was the first time I'd done it. In that heat race, I did it twice, and I couldn't get over it like he was. So you know, it's something that I'm just going to have to pull it out for the main event and really maybe hit the corner faster. But yeah, the track's only going to get a little bit tougher. You know, it's quite a lot easier when it's smooth like that, but I like it better when it's got some ruts.
All right, well, good luck, Dean. Leave it all on the track in the main event tonight, okay? You can rest next week.
Exactly. Sounds good.
All right, so Dean Wilson will make
Still
his
to come
way
from Phoenix, Supercross heat racing. The biggest names in the sport are looking for the direct transfer to the main event. 4-time Phoenix winner James Stewart, defending series champion Ryan Villopoto, KTM's Ryan Dungey, and Honda's Chad Reed. The premier class heads to the gate when Speed's coverage from Chase Field in Phoenix rolls on.
I am Chad Reed, and you're watching Supercross live on Speed.
There's a good look at James Stewart as we come back, getting ready to go racing here in Phoenix. Now, James was in the middle of a bit of a tire controversy last week. He is supposed to be riding on Pirellis. That's the deal that the Joe Gibbs Racing motocross team has with the tire company. However, they put a different tire on, a Dunlop, for practice last week to give James a feel for that, to see if it was a variable in the equation. Jeremy Albrecht gave us his thoughts on what took place a week ago in Anaheim.
You know, our goal is to be on the best tires out there. So, you know, it's still early stages for us, testing with Pirelli. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of different compounds and different tread patterns. And, you know, really the track was tough. You know, we didn't expect to have the problems we were having, just not really feeling good. I felt like we were really prepared, and, you know, we were struggling a little bit. And, you know, that decision was just to clear his head and show him that, you know, that's one variable that we could put on the bike that, you know, could help him mentally. So, you know, it wasn't a decision, obviously, that Pirelli and Yamaha or anybody like that, as far as the sponsors were obviously willing to do. But, you know, I felt that we really needed to do that and to get his head in the game. And, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that again.
All right, as you take a look at the 411 for the Supercross class, Ricky, let's get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I don't, you know, it's definitely a touchy situation. There's no doubt about it. All I know is that the team is sponsored by Pirelli, I believe, and that's what you need to be running. It's, you know, but I understand their side as well. Definitely not a good situation, but they're over it. He said he wouldn't do it again, and there you go.
Yeah, and it should be noted that in his heat race and the main event last weekend, rode on the Pirellis the whole time. So he definitely has some speed on that setup, but this team's looking to make things better for James Stewart, try to put him on top of the podium.
All right, so Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FAM World Championship. The 450s in the game. Heat number 1 for them. 9 riders to the main. Andrew Short gets a pretty good start on the 29, Jeremy McGrath's team, and he's got the whole shot.
Imagine that, Short and, is that Alessi? Yes. 2 of the best starters in the game executed this start here in Phoenix to perfection.
Alessi on the 800 in the yellow and black riding gear. Oh, and pushing him on the green Kawasaki comes the number 100 of Josh Hansen.
Josh Hansen, of course, on this new ride with the Kawasaki team. So he really didn't get the starts last week to show what his potential is. So now that he's up in 3rd, let's see if he has you know, gotten comfortable with this bike and this team and is ready to pull the trigger. Because, of course, in Supercross Lights West Coast, he won some races in the past.
Yeah, I mean, he's legit.
Yeah.
A championship contender, not just winning races. Absolutely.
Ryan Morris is in this fight as well in the 65 in 4th, but he's got a lot of pressure from Chad Reed on that 2-2 Motorsports Honda.
Stewart started 6th, is in 7th now.
Reed just got around him to move himself up to 4th, so Morris drops back to 5th.
Yeah, Reed will set his sights here on Josh Hansen. You know, he's got James Stewart behind him, and I can guarantee you one thing right now. Look at this.
Reed,
going by him.
That's for 3rd.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the... Well, we haven't got that first lap time, but I'm telling you, Reed definitely confident in what's going on. He feels good about his team and his bike and everything, and had a chance to talk to the guys on the team, and they said Chad asked for no changes during practice day. He just went out and rode, got comfortable doing his laps, a lot like Ryan Villapoto has been doing this year also.
I asked Chad earlier today, I said, how's it going out there? He goes, good, going round and round and up and down.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, when you don't have to make any adjustments on your bike, you know it's going to be a good night. You'll have to maybe a clicker change here and there for to adjust to the dirt, because it's going to get a little drier, probably a little, little truck ruts will get a little bit rougher, but he's looking pretty good. And I think he, that finish last weekend gave him a huge, gave him a huge boost.
Chad has his bell rate back 2-2, moving up through the field. James Stewart is closing. He's up to 5th. There he is. And he's going after Hansen through the whoops. Cuts back to the inside. Can he power past him?
And see what sort of fight Hansen puts up. Not too much right there. Stewart carried some momentum around the outside. Fans really starting to acknowledge that. They got their eyes on number 7.
Yeah, we see James right there. He did not participate in the second practice. I think maybe a little sick from what I'm hearing. That's the only thing I could figure why he would not practice.
With more on the story of James Stewart, here's Aaron.
That's right, you guys. James Stewart hasn't been feeling that well this week. When I was talking to Jeremy Albrecht, he was telling me that he opted not to go out for that final practice because he did so well those first 2 practices. He wanted to conserve a little bit of energy, but they did say his nerves have calmed down since last weekend. They think he was a little bit overwhelmed with all the expectations that he's put on himself. We've seen him win here 4 times in Phoenix before. We'll find out what happens tonight.
Aaron, he's making a nice move around Michael Lessing. That'll put him up to 3rd. Ricky, things looking pretty solid on that 7 so far.
Yeah, he's made 2 passes in the same corner. Now he's going to set his sights on Chad Reed. Got a little clear track ahead of him right now. He's probably going to try to put in a couple good laps.
And look at this. Chad Reed has caught up to Andrew Short, and James Stewart can see them right there. So a pair of Hondas about to battle with the Yamaha closing in.
Yeah, Chad's going to need to pick it up. He's into 51.7. His fastest time. Stewart was
Here
at 51.5.
There it is, Jeff. Right into Andrew Short. Chad Reed takes the lead away, and Short comes back. And here's Stewart with a big whip.
Watch Stewart to the inside.
Stewart inside, and Reed cuts back. Oh, these two have a lot of history. A lot of history between these two, and Short wants a piece of this as well.
Stewart got a little huckabuck there, going for the lead. Chad Reed looked like he was going to lose the whole thing right there as he got sandwiched, but wow, what a lap for James Stewart. And Chad Reed, that's it. He made the pass, but he made one of those passes where he goes in and block passes. He doesn't use a momentum pass and speed, and it really cost him.
But Ricky, he's not gapping him by much.
This is what Chad Reed is really good at. He can get on a guy's wheel most of the time if the dude is faster in front of him, like James Cotton passed him, and he can latch on, follow him, take his same lines or better, and stick with him.
Well, he is right there, too. Stewart and Reed battling for the lead.
Wow. Look at this.
That's right.
Oh, Chad Reed is down. He made a mistake. Reed went down. He's trapped under the bike. Can he get up and get going? He's got to get a top 9 spot to get straight to the main. Where is he going to fit in? There goes Kevin Windham. Windham was in 7th, so that puts Reed in 8th.
Same exact corner where Davalos tucked the front wheel in the lights heat race. Same slippery spot right there, and that is going to leave James Stewart with a bit of a lead over Andrew Short, and this is a huge confidence booster on a night that you might not be feeling so good. You didn't ride last practice here today, but yet he comes out after conserving his injury, comes through the pack, could possibly be on his way to a heat race win here.
Stewart with a 2.8-second lead over Andrew Short now. Ricky, how about the tire situation? We spent a lot of time talking about it. Does it look like that bike is handling the way it should?
Yeah, it looked pretty good to me. I mean, it looked great in his heat race last weekend at Anaheim.
Well, he didn't tuck the front wheel and go down.
No, he didn't. I mean, he's looking pretty good to me, but I mean, 99.9% of the time, he looks good. So it's nothing new and nothing surprising.
He really is a spectacular heat race rider. It's a kind of a speed type of, a sprint race. Yeah. Stewart's one of the best ever.
Final lap underway.
Passed, 2 guys in a matter of 50 feet.
Hansen is in a good spot here for a transfer. He's in 4th.
Pretty solid ride here for Josh Hansen.
That's where it starts, as you start getting good rides in heat races, and then you make it go on to the, to the main event.
Watch Stewart through the whoops here, and this is one of the sections here where Stewart puts a lot of emphasis on being the quickest rider through that section. But I'll tell you what, track here tonight, I mean, soil is the best I've ever seen it here in Phoenix. But there is some of these light sections. Watch as it comes out here. You see that light section? That's where the tire really gets lit up, and it becomes challenging for the tire guys.
Checkered flag, and James Stewart is on his way to the main event. Reed should be able to get there fairly easily. Oh, another rider going down, battling back here in the fight for that final transfer spot. That's Tommy Hahn on the 32. He should be good. Morris was in there. Chisholm was in there. Checkered flag falls.
That might have been Ben LeMay, who was up into top 9.
I think you're right, because Morris is going to take the final transfer spot. Reed is going to go to the main from 7th place, just behind Wyndham in 6th. There's big James Stewart over to congratulate his son in the blue jacket.
Reed.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Starting position, just gave up. But this is a wide first turn.
And he could do it.
So Kyle Chisholm will go to the last chance qualifier. All right, James Stewart, we saw you doing a lot of work to get the tires right last week, and it was a big story this week. How did they perform in the heat race? Are you happy with where you are now?
Yeah, I think we're getting there. You know, I think it was a lot more than just tires last week. You know, we struggled a little bit, and you know, it just takes time. You know, these guys are on it, and I can't keep getting starts like I have. You know, I'm passing way too many people. I'm up for the RC Hard Charger Award already. So, you know, we just need to get it better, and hopefully we get a better start in the main event.
James, it's RC. Dude, that was a spectacular pass you put on those guys. I mean, before you know, you passed 2 guys and you were in the lead. Tell us about it. I mean, what happened?
They had the 2-for-1 special going on out there. So, no, I just tried to get it, but you know, I had my chance. You know, Chad got in on Andrew right there, and I knew I had a good opportunity to try to do it, and it was good. You know, when you're in the back, you know, you're just trying to stay up for the first few laps, and then I don't know what happened to Chad. I guess he watched the front end out, so it's gonna be a tough main event. We just need to keep continuing to get better.
James, Jeff Emick here heard, well, we've seen that you didn't ride the final practice. Are you a little bit under the weather? How are you feeling right now, and what's your expectations for the main?
I mean, no matter how I feel, you know, the expectations is always to win races, but I feel like crap. I've been feeling like crap the last 2 days, and unfortunately it hits today. So took a little bit of time to try to regroup. I don't know if it helped or not out there that last time, but you know, we'll see. I'm gonna give it all I got in the main event. Just want to give it out to these guys at JGR, Yamaha, Toyota, Red Bull, Answer, Bell Helmets, Nike, Oakley, GoPro, everybody that sponsors me, and you fans, thank you.
All right, James, go rest up. We'll see you back out in the main event. Now we're going to see who James is going to be racing against. Ryan Dungey, Ryan Villapoto getting ready for Heat 2. Big week back in Charlotte. This coming weekend at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Speed will be there as we get ready to induct some more very famous individuals from the history of NASCAR into the beautiful NASCAR Hall of Fame. You can see it here January 22nd, live on Speed. We have a poll question for you once again as you take a look at Trey Kennard. Our Supercross poll question is, which section of the track do you want Ricky and Jeff to analyze during intermission tonight in Phoenix? Rhythm section, the start area, the whoops, or the turns? Just hit us up at speed.com or supercrossonline.com. And by the way, if you're going to send in any Twitter or pictures, you want to do that to the hashtag of SX on Speed tonight. And by the way, I'm so used to doing everything live on Speed with Supercross. The Hall of Fame ceremony, that one's not live. Sorry. With another Progressive pre-race report is Aaron Bates.
It was such a courageous return for the number 75 of Josh Hill, coming back from injury until last weekend when he crashed during his heat race and injured his left leg. He did try to come back for the LCQ. The pain was too severe. He pulled off. He went and got a bone scan done on Monday morning and found out that he has got a fractured left tibia. He will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. However, he vows to be back before the end of the season for the Hart and Huntington team.
Such an unbelievable story for Josh Hill. We all wish him the best and hope to see him back as we get ready for heat number 2. Let's quickly take a look at the GoPro onboard camera, Fro, with the Supercross class.
Yeah, look at this. You're on board with Heat 1 winner James Stewart here, Toyota Yamaha. See how the track, this is in the second round of 3 practices. You can see some of those ruts in the turns starting to develop. This is what the track is going to be like, more like in the main event, except it'll be even more difficult.
Yeah, you can see right here, turn right, a lot of guys, only a couple guys going 3 there, and then everyone's going 3 in the middle, and then the standard triple here. This is a good passing zone. Some guys go inside. You already seen in the lights heat race, cut the guys off, take the pass.
Yeah, and you know what's different about the tracker tonight is they usually, when they fix it, the jumps are getting smaller. Here, they are holding their size.
3-time Monster Energy Supercross class winner, Trey Kennard, getting ready to go. Let's see how he does, trying to come back from injury as well.
For some reason, I just don't think he'd be happy with 8 points.
No,
like
no way.
Like he said earlier.
No way, he's too much of a competitor for sure. Here we go, Kennard's on the 41, Dungey, Villapoto, and the rest. Kennard does not get a good start. Villapoto trying to get through the inside. He's got Weimer on the 21 right along with him, his teammate.
Look at that, they got these bikes dialed in, and we just seen that Dungey, the number 5 on the KTM, he kind of snuck around the inside after a bad gate. Look for that in the main event, for somebody to sneak back on the inside.
Also in this fight is going to be Justin Brayton on the factory Honda, the Muscle Milk machine number 10. There he is, and also in there is the Yoshimura Suzuki, Brett Metcalf.
And look at the opportunity here that Villapoto's teammate Jake Weimer has to get right up there with him and possibly to follow him, learn some of his lines, get up to the race pace of the champ. It's a great opportunity with a great start here for Jake Weimer.
Oh, no! Villapoto with a huge mistake! Villapoto into the top blocks, and the positions are going away. He's going again. Where is he going to be? And more riders piling in behind him, including the 25 machine involved in that. Brock Tickle is in there. The 54 is caught up in it as well, Weston Pike. But what's Villapoto going to do? He's all the way back at 11th. He needs 2 spots at least just to get the transfer to the main.
That was a critical mistake there, Ricky. Maybe we spoke too soon that the soil was great and there's all this traction, because we've seen some riders make some serious mistakes.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys, and as I was listening, I was kind of watching the screen here, and I watched his front end slip at least 2 or 3 times, and that's what happened in that last crash there. As you can see the replay, watch this right here. Watch it slide and catch. Boom! It catches and stands him upright, and he goes off and hits the tough blocks.
Yeah, watch, he'll grab a handful of front brake, really focus on the front wheel here, and let's see if we see it lock up at all.
Right here. Boom, right there. Okay, I've seen it do that 2 times before that, you know. So yeah, you know what, but it's better that this happens for him in this situation than it does in the main event. He'll get it situated.
Well, Aaron, Jake Weimer now is in a position where if he can hang on for a few more laps, he's almost halfway through. He could be a heat race winner.
That's right, you guys. He said that he has been working on starts all week long. He's burned through several clutches. He said he's been struggling with his results, though, and his confidence from his injury last year. He has been making a push to get back to where he needs to be and be competitive with these guys out here. It's great for his confidence tonight.
Yeah, he's crushing it for sure. It's good to see that, without a doubt.
Weimer, Brayton, Millsaps up to 3rd, Metcalf, Dungey, Albertson, Kennard in 7th. Villapoto now up to 8th. He's in a transfer spot, and Partridge running in 9th in the final position. There is Davey Millsaps.
This is good for Millsaps here, because you know, he gets a chance to ride some clean laps here. Look at him nailing that triple out of there, and he needs a confidence booster, because the main event last week did not go as he planned. I know he's done a lot of work with his training this year. Like we mentioned last week, he's dropped a lot of body weight, and this team is really looking for him to step up along with James Stewart and put the Toyota Yamaha on the top of the podium.
You can see Ryan Dungey, but behind him there. And I was expecting a lot out of Dungey this weekend, and I'm going to tell you why, because he's on a steel frame chassis, and normally, as you can see, the track's starting to get a little bit hard there. A steel frame flexes more than an aluminum frame does. So when it's flexing, you're getting more grip, where the other guys maybe doesn't flex as much, the tires spin a little more. The harder the track gets, I think plays more into the favor of Ryan Dungey, which you know is going to be harder in the main event. Look, you see, he made a little mistake there. Wow. But I think it's going to be, this condition is going to play into that bike and himself.
We'll see here. I mean, Dungey kind of not looking as aggressive as I was thinking these guys would be at this point. But Track's starting to go away a little bit.
It is.
Here's Brett Metcalf on that Yoshimura Suzuki. Oh boy, he almost had a big problem coming out
You know
of.
what you call that?
Huh?
I said, you know what to call that? Huckabuck.
Huckabuck. Oh, yeah.
Right at the end. One
Yeah,
whoop
he
to
almost
go.
huckabucked right off, didn't he? There's Trey Kennard on the 41. Kennard is up to 6, and he's got a lot of company in Ryan Villapoto right now. He's trying to work his way back up to a better gate pick for the main.
So you got one guy that's coming back from injury and the other rider that's basically won everything for the last year.
Look at that.
But Kennard, though, he is so good. Look at this. He just pulls out of the way here, gives Villapoto the spot. That's what we were talking about, being realistic with his expectations, knowing his level. He knows, hey, this guy is the man right now. I shouldn't even try to run with him. If I can follow in behind him and watch his lines and maybe pick up on the pace, then that'd be good. But don't try to press it when it's just not there. And that's a really smart move by Trey Kennard.
That's you know, that shows a lot of class. It really does.
Yeah.
Hey, look at, I mean.
Hey, Villapoto even got a little kick there into the whoops. Yeah. Ricky, I think it's the third whoop from the end. And some guys talked earlier today about there being a real V in those whoops. And so you're skimming along, rear wheels spinning, and when it hits that V, it kicks off to the opposite side.
I think that this track character, and this is my opinion here, and I think you can get away with running your suspension a little softer, especially for the corners here, because it gets really loose, and you need that front end bite. You can see these guys are losing their front end quite a bit.
Weimer continues to lead. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Braden. You're watching the battle for 5th, and it's just changed hands. Villapoto picks up another one in front of Metcalf.
Okay, now, Ricky, so you soften it up for the corners. Through the whoop section here, that's where you lose a little bit of ability to carry your speed. It looks like the whoops, even though they've got some edges there, it might even be better if it's softer through the whoops, too.
Battle for 3rd now. Davey Millsaps on the Toyota back to Yamaha of Joe Gibbs Racing, the blue number 18, being chased by that orange Red Bull KTM, the factory KTM of Ryan Dungey with 1 lap to go. And Weimer's lead has grown by 0.2 of a second.
Hey, this is a confidence booster for a lot of riders here in Heat 2, I'm telling you, because Brayton has been all over Weimer as Dungey, as he mistakes his way through the triple section, but somehow manages to keep on the right sequence. But, man, this has been some good rides here by some riders last week that, you know, like Millsaps, that really struggled.
Millsaps is plenty capable.
He's won before.
Of getting a good start and running up front for sure. A podium. I mean, he's won races.
So you got Weimer here. Fast time was a 52.5.
To the checkered flag is Jake Weimer. And a nice solid win for him in heat number 2. And Millsaps with a huge boost in confidence as he holds off Dungey for 3rd. Villapoto battles his way back to 5th. So the gate pick won't be horrible. And Kennard, coming back off that injury, he'll go to the main as well. Chris Blows from here in Phoenix will get the final transfer on bike number 47.
47, I like that. Hey, I'm telling you what, I'm looking at these lap time guys. Stewart was a 51.5, Weimer a 52.5.
Of course, for those of you that are new to the sport, 47, your buddy Fro's old number. We'll be right back. We'll talk to Jake. Enjoying a nice night here in Phoenix as you take a look at the results from the finish of heat number 2 and the next 9 riders that are moving on to the main. Josh Grant is going to take Jeff Ward's entry, the 33, to the last chance qualifier. We're going to go right down to the podium where Jake Weimer is standing by after a nice heat race win. Your teammate went down and you went on. How solid is your piece ready to go now for the main event?
Now I'm ready to go. That was a good heat race for me. I got a really good start. Ryan got by me, and then he made a little bobble. So luckily I was able to take advantage and take the win. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go for the main.
Hey, Jake, it's Jeff Emming here. Congratulations. What a confidence booster that must be. You know, Villapoto was at a 51.8, Stewart at 51.5. Your fast was a 52.5, so you got about a second to make up on the fastest. You feel comfortable? You got that confidence booster where you think you can chip into that for the main?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my bike is really good. We had a little minor problem out there in that race, so I think we can go back, fix that, and then I'll be ready to go for the main. So just excited to get my team up here. It's been a long time for me, so the whole Monster Energy Kawasaki team, my personal sponsors, Atlas, Von Zipper, Alpine Star, Boots, everybody that's behind me, man. Thank you guys a bunch.
We've seen him grow up before our eyes. From Supercross Lights Phenom to Supercross Star, everyone has an opinion about James Stewart. Learn about his latest career migration to Joe Gibbs Racing and his latest attempt to capture a third championship. It's all ahead when Speed's coverage returns to Arizona.
I'm James Stewart, and you're watching Supercross Live on Speed.
Twitter activity going on tonight. Remember, hit the hashtag SX on Speed. Maybe we'll put you on the air like we were doing with AJ Allmendinger. Got home just in time to watch a great finish of the Saints-Niners game. I agree with that completely. Being another West Coaster like AJ. Now round 2 Supercross. Sweet.
That's awesome.
Glad to have you
The
with
dinger.
us, AJ. Hope you're enjoying that new ride this year.
Congrats.
Those guys are enjoying the night, aren't
That's
they?
cool.
James Stewart, what a career this guy has had. The ups and the downs. The Life's West champion back in 2003. So many expectations of where he was going to be in the record books by the time he was done, a lot of which he said he wanted to tear up and rewrite. The 2004 Lights East Championship went to him as well, and everybody's thinking he's right on track.
Definitely.
Then it took till 2007 to get the first Supercross title. There would be more. Got it again, number 2 coming just a couple of years ago in 2009. Obviously the biggest story in the offseason was James moving to Joe Gibbs.
To be able to come to a team that's so successful, and when I saw their motorcycle, the same bike that I was riding, how much different, how much better it was, and knowing that these guys are putting all the millions of dollars in resources and they just need a rider, and I felt like being able to come here and win for these guys and bring a championship to a coach that he's never had, I think that's pretty special.
That takes us to a point where for the first time in this sport, I think we're going to be a serious contender. That's our dream.
I was really impressed with Joe Gibbs, man. The way he brings himself and the way he carries himself is just amazing. You know, I think it's one of those few people that you meet and you're just like, you know what, I want to be like that guy. Coach really pursued it hard. They really committed a lot for us. 3-year deal, 5 extra over the total. It just felt like it was an opportunity for us to grow and have a future instead of a one and done deal.
I think James for us is extremely important. I'm not really playing for second. Never have been. I mean, that's kind of why I stopped driving. If you're not good enough to win, then I think it's time to move on in life. We know James can win.
It all kind of fit, what he was looking for and what we were looking for. And I think, him being the first guy to come here and put us in a title hunt is really, I think that's exciting for him.
I'm very excited to work with J-Bone. I think our relationship at Kawasaki was awesome. We had our good times and bad times, but it was always a working relationship and also a friend relationship. So it's nice to work with people you really trust, and he's definitely one of them.
We did have a good relationship already. It was easy, conversation. He did want to come here anyway. It was just a matter of what bike we were going to ride.
One thing we did improve is on the motorcycle. I think we made a lot of different changes on that. I think 2012 is a whole new year, and it's one I'm looking forward to for sure.
One of the things that I did talk to James about is, if you have a problem, you can go straight to the top here. There's not a bunch of layers of management. Talk to me. If it doesn't work with me, you go to Coy. If you don't like what he says, go to Joe. So that's really all there is. So I think that's the part he liked as well. And he already knew a lot of people on our team. He liked the way everyone got along here. So that's really what we try to focus on, is having a good group of guys that all gets along, and we're all here for the same goal, and that's to try to win races.
It's a new team, but a lot of familiar faces back when I rode at back in the day with J-Bone and with Dean Baker and stuff. So I'm excited to just get going and see what happens.
No doubt there'll be a lot of James Stewart fans in the crowd here tonight at Chase Field. He's got a heat race win, and he might thrill us all once again in the main event. He could be a championship contender, no doubt about it.
He knows how to step it up. There's no doubt about that. He's going to need to do it for this main.
Opening ceremonies were great as always here tonight in Phoenix, working our way towards the last chance qualifiers. Just before we go into the last chance qualifiers, let's show you the highlights from our Supercross Lights West heat races from earlier this evening, and we'll begin with heat number 1 here, Ricky.
Yeah, really impressed with Eli Tomac's heat race performance. He turned the fastest lap of all heat races, Supercross class included, at a 51.4, I believe. I mean, that is amazing. The guy is firing on all cylinders. See a down rider right there. He was having a tough time. He fell a couple times angled there. I mean, look at this. I mean, just turns our primo, doing the jumps. He was doing this triple section that no other than Dean Wilson, no one else was doing it in the lights division. So really cool to see him. And I mean, he was one of the fastest guys last weekend, even though he didn't get the win.
Yeah, and Dean even said the way Eli was doing that triple deal was much easier than anybody else they had seen.
He sure did.
So, Jeff, let's move on now to heat number 2, and this is where we would see Dean Wilson on the 15.
Yeah, look at this start here that he nails. There's a lot of shuffling around, you know, and he sneaks by the inside. This was Moss that went down, so he was going to have to work his way up from way behind.
Davalos here had the early lead, then had the problem.
Wow. Yeah, Davalos tucks the front wheel, and we've seen that happen in the Supercross class also. But Wilson, who's sick tonight, strong ride. Lap time not quite as good as Tomac, but a real confidence booster by winning that heat race. It's also going to give him second gate pick going into the main event, which could be critical.
Yeah, Tomac looks like the guy to beat, no question about it, but Wilson has to get points done, and good points.
Yeah, but Wilson needs to, you know, he needs to manage the race better than he did last week. We heard that he was suffering from arm pump. He made a mistake at the end of the main event last week that cost him some points. He's sick here tonight, so a start and just a good solid ride is going to be a key to getting back into the championship chase.
So Tomac, he got a career first heat win earlier. He's going after the main event victory now.
Yeah, he looks really good tonight, but every time you think a guy's going to totally dominate, something happens every single time. He gets a bad start, has a tip over, and you see somebody else that you totally didn't expect to be out front. So he's definitely the favorite, but you never know. That's what's great about Supercross.
Yeah, but our points leader qualified 8th. Heat race a little shaky.
We'll see how Cole Seeley does. Our coverage of the NFC Divisional Playoffs continues tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, when the Giants will look to try to continue playing dominating defense as they take on Aaron Rodgers and the top-seeded Packers at Lambeau Field. Our coverage of the NFC Divisional Round is this weekend only on Fox.
Hey, and who are they going to play next week?
Niners, baby, all the way.
49ers.
Yeah. Boy, these guys were wearing me out with that one today. Good buddies I got up here in front of our seat. One of the highlights of every round of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship, the Monster Energy Pit Party. Always a good time. You can even get RC's autograph. He was there signing everything and anything.
Hello.
Having a good time. All kinds of stuff for everybody to check out and see. And the fans were everywhere in a packed crowd here tonight. Chase Field in Phoenix. All right, let's get back to those highlights. We'll start with the Supercross class here, Fro.
Yeah, Heat 1, really aggressive first turn, and we see Andrew Short, and then around the outside, Mike Alessi, 2 of the pole shot specialists out front to lead this event. Some of the favorites were back in the pack a little bit. Chad Reed tries to make a pass on Andrew Short for the lead, and look who sneaks up from behind. James Stewart getting a little 2-for-1 action here as he takes the lead. Got a little huckabuck, but he keeps the position. Now Chad Reed really mounted a charge here in this heat race. 1 lap later, watch Chad Reed just get in a little heavy here with the front wheel and the front brake. Puts the Honda on the ground.
Yeah, that was a bad one there.
Yeah, it was not a good moment for him, and on to the victory goes James Stewart. And we go on to heat number 2 here, Ricky, and our look at Dungey and Villapoto and Trey Kennard as well.
Yeah, you see Villapoto here coming in with the whole shot. Messes up this section after this right-hander. You're going to see right here goes double-double. His teammate Jake Weimer almost get into him, but look at right here. Loses his front end, it catches, shoots him off the track. Kind of unorthodox. We haven't seen a mistake from him basically all year. That one was the first one of the season, so glad for him that happened in the heat race, not the main event. He's probably going to make some adjustments to his bike, or at least mentally, and he will come out firing, no doubt about it. And you see Jake Weimer getting his first heat race win. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. All right, well, that's what you two so-called experts thought of the racing so far. And now we're going to get a real expert's opinion.
All right.
Our good buddy Brett Michaels joining us here. We're in your hometown.
Thank you.
I know you went dirt bike riding earlier today. So what do you think of the racing?
I got to tell you right now. First of all, and I'm going to start right here. I think first of all, you got Stewart fired up after last week. I call it his hay bale bailout. You know what I mean? You know, the little stuff. I do that all the time. I'm used to that. but I know he's going to be fired up. I know James is going to be fired up.
Right.
But sometimes that fire, as they say, in the belly, that makes you come firing back. You saw that, and then you look at Villapoto. He goes down like that. Now he's ready to come back.
Right.
But Chad Reed, last year he won the Rock Hard Ride Hard Award. I know he can come back from adversity.
And speaking of that, we got you back with the Rock Hard Ride Hard Award, and we got a new song, which the three of us love. Go ahead, hit it.
Get your ride on.
He's getting good at that, dude.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. We got a concert to do.
We love the tune. What was the inspiration? Where'd the inspiration come for that?
Very simple. Right here. We're looking at it. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just missed the podium.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's right.
No, just I've been riding since I've been 6 years old. Not well, but I love doing it, and I love going out and riding and having a great time. But that inspiration comes. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast, and such an amazing feeling. And I wrote that song up, and I love it. And you know who's on it? Phil Collins from Def Leppard, and my friend
cool.
Sal from My Darkest Days. And so it's an international song. It's got a Brit, an American, a Canadian, all jamming on a great tune.
Well, and there's three guys in the booth that are always rocking out to it too. Just before we get going, now we have another Twitter question that came in here. Check this out. How about this guy? This is what it's all about, right there, Brett. He is getting his ride on, man.
That is awesome right there. My daughters will be here tonight, so it's going to be great.
Yeah.
They're super fans.
Hey, thanks for the song. Thanks for coming by. I know
Rock
you're
hard, ride on.
Get your ride on. I know your Steelers are out, but you can jump on the bandwagon with my Niners, pal. Come on.
Bro, RC.
Yeah.
Well, now the intermission is over, and it's time for a little last chance qualifier racing.
Got some good guys in this West Coast Lights LCQ. We got both of the J-Star KTM riders, Marmont and Moss, lined up in this. They just barely missed qualifying. Of course, Martin Davalos, who went down into his heat race, Nick Paluzzi, and a whole host of other talented Supercross riders.
2 spots are open in the main. Remember, we'll take 20, but the Lights riders only compete for 15 laps. Here's a good look from the roof down on the start line, and you can see, Ricky, how that all funnels down as you get down towards turn 1.
I like that first turn. It's nice 180, nice and wide. Give you plenty of room. Look at that, what an awesome view. You can see how it's not too tight. Look at that, perfect.
Davalos with the whole shot on the 31, but Jeff, he had the problem staying upright in this heat race.
Well, you can bet he's not going to make that same mistake. I mean, this guy, he is a veteran of the Lights. We know that he has the speed to win. Sometimes that
couple
motivation.
of riders, whole bunch of them down in this turn here, right at home plate. Man, it's going to knock a lot of guys, including Bryce Valley, out of Escondido, California, on the number 90.
Brett mentioned the motivation when you're down and trying to pick yourself back up. That's what the Rock Hard Ride Hard Award is all about. In these heat races tonight, we saw some top stars go down, and so what are they going to do to recover and leave this stadium happy here tonight? Davalos is on his way to that.
Oh, there goes another one right over the berm.
That was one of the J-Star KTMs again.
Sure
that was
Marmont. Ryan Marmont.
And that's going to give his teammate, Moss, third. Still not enough to get into the main event, but we're going to have a really healthy battle between Davalos, Sipes, and here we go.
Here.
Oh, he gets a little kick.
He gets kicked up, okay? When he kicks up, his foot can't touch the rear brake.
Yeah, here we go. Watch his right foot. Kicks a little bit, just enough to put his balance off forward on the bike where he really couldn't grab the front brake with his right hand or get his right foot to the rear brake and get that KTM stopped.
We're already halfway through this. It looked like Ryan Sipes was having problems at that very moment too, and he got lucky that he didn't go down.
There it is. That's the transfer position. This is what we call the bubble right here. And Moss trying to make a run at it.
Yeah, you take a guy like Ryan Sipes. I mean, he's won a main event before. He's been in this business a long time. This is not where he wants to be. And I'm going to tell you right now, Moss ain't making it easy on him.
No, sir.
To me, in these first couple of races of the year here, Sipes has not looked himself. I don't know what the deal is. His speed and aggressive riding is down from what we've seen in the past.
And here comes that challenge. Oh, and it's going to get physical, too.
Check this
He got
out.
to throw
Check this
everything
out.
out, and
Check
on
it
the
out.
final couple laps, there it is.
Whoa!
Bangs his way past.
Nice.
Moss goes up to that final transfer
You
spot.
can see the setup in the whoop section, Jeff. He swung it wide and came in for the kill. You got to, man.
I think Sykes might be thinking the same thing. Here he comes. He's got the outside line. He cuts back. Oh, can't get it done.
Riding dirty here tonight in Phoenix.
Banging some more.
Oh, we got another lap of it.
This is going to be great to the finish.
This is going to turn out
the inside
bad.
right here.
This is going to turn out bad for somebody.
Hey, home
No
plate
doubt about
area.
it.
Watch this in the home plate area. He's going to go for the jugular.
Here they come. Jumping in.
No, he protects
This
the
has been a
inside.
tricky spot
Nice
all
move.
day.
Moss is losing a little bit of ground. He's going to have to be a little closer. Is he going to go for the kill right here,
He's
Jeff?
got the momentum again. Nope. See,
Now he's going to save it up right here. Check this out, guys.
This could be for the final
check this
transfer
out.
position.
Cutting inside. Here he comes. Runs him way up and over. They both go down. They both go down. Oh, and coming right by is Chatfield. Chatfield's got that spot now. And Ricky, it did go bad for both of them.
That was so heavy. Come on.
Davalos gets the win here. He's going. Chatfield just needs a couple of corners, and he's going.
And
that is not a textbook takeout move.
Okay, teams might have to get the gloves out here for this.
Chatfield's pumped.
Okay, watch. Sipes knows it's coming. He gets on the brake, and Moss just runs him all the way wide. Watch, he tries to go so deep that he takes himself out. Come on, man. Really?
Yeah.
And the hit earlier, one lap before, was like metal to metal. They nailed him, and here he's like, okay, I'm just going to drive you all the way off the track.
You almost see Moss twist the throttle wide open, like mid-corner.
And it gets difficult because they were cutting across the rut, so that's it's so difficult to get that front tire to bite and turn. But no excuses on that one. That was.
Well, the good news is we got another LCQ to go. We might get more of that. We can only hope.
Little deep.